I have to give that up to my wife because there were so many times I felt like giving up.
Yeah.
And my wife, Rebecca, was like, nope, nope, this is what you said you was gonna do. She would always hold me to whatever I said I was gonna do.
When Hollywood's famous black actors decided to marry for love, the backlash was force. According to them, these actors married women who didn't fit the industry's beauty standards, despite the viewpoint being narrow. The women faced brutal attacks from strangers questioning their looks to their worth, until the men chose to hide their love lives. Which of these love stories will survive the pressure? And who made the biggest sacrifice, choosing love first? Join us as we find actors whose wives faced criticism. Sidney Poitier. In 1976, amid backlash against interracial couples, Sidney Poitier married Canadian actress Joanna Shimkus. He was already history's first Black Best Actor Oscar winner, a man who rose from poverty in the Bahamas and reshaped Hollywood through films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Well, how'd you get there before I came along?
We walk every Sunday, now we got you.
Now, damn it! You ain't got me.
And In the Heat of the Night, tabloids circled. Criticism followed. She didn't fit the bill, but the couple chose to ignore it. They focused on their story, family, and 2 daughters, including Sydney Tamiia Poitier. The marriage lasted for 45 years, until he died in 2022. But challenging 1970s prejudice was one thing. What happens when a marriage has to survive in an age where every move is tracked and shared? Michael Ealy. Michael Ealy, known for Barbershop and Think Like a Man, quietly married Katira Rafiqzada in 2012. She was an Afghan-American entrepreneur who stayed far from red carpets. For years, fans believed the leading man was single. When the marriage surfaced, social media turned harsh, dissecting her looks and questioning his choice.
Michael Ealy?
Mr. Ealy, follow me real quick, sir.
Ealy didn't engage. He made it clear through actions that privacy mattered more than attention. 13 years in, with 2 children, they've kept their circle tight while the internet kept talking. And that wasn't the last secret Hollywood marriage hiding in plain sight. Donald Glover. Donald Glover, the mind behind Atlanta and This Is America, found himself at the center of a firestorm when photos surfaced of his longtime partner Michelle White and their children. Michelle is white, and the internet reacted fast. Commentators questioned his identity, his loyalty, and his choices. The backlash was loud. Glover stayed quiet. He kept his focus on family while Michelle remained
Freddie that made cognac in the toilet.
No, not that Freddie. Hold up.
completely out of view. They avoided interviews, skipped social media, and lived off stage. In January 24, they married without spectacle. Behind the performances and personas was someone who had exposed his private life. But while Glover ignored the noise, another actor was pushed so far he had to speak up. Omari Hardwick. When Power star Omari Hardwick's marriage to Jennifer Fauch surfaced, the reaction online was immediate and vicious. Jennifer is white, and comment sections filled with insults about her looks and worth. The noise didn't fade. Hardwick stepped in publicly, defending her character and values instead of engaging the insults. He shared that Jennifer, a public relations professional who later became a motivational speaker, supported him long before fame arrived. She stood beside him through career rejection and financial instability, including a period when he had no home. They married in May 2012 and built a life far from the approval of strangers. 13 years later, their relationship remained steady, while opinions shifted and faded. And if online cruelty was harsh for some, one couple faced judgment while revealing their struggles in full view, shocking Hollywood with radical honesty. Terry Crews. Terry Crews married Rebecca King Crews in 1989, long before Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Hollywood fame. Rebecca, a singer and performer, became part of a blended family that now includes 5 children. What set them apart wasn't just their interracial marriage, but their radical honesty. Crews opened up about pornography addiction, infidelity, and the long work of rebuilding trust, while Rebecca stood by him through failed NFL dreams, years of acting rejection, and the public scrutiny of his sexual assault revelation. They shared their story in interviews, books, and the BET reality show The Family Crews, refusing to hide behind PR polish. Critics called their transparency attention-seeking, but the Crews showed that marriage is strengthened by facing storms, not avoiding them. Over 36 years together, they've maintained a stable, loving household. And some couples face scrutiny not for mistakes, but simply for existing across cultural lines Hollywood rarely acknowledges. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, known for the Blade trilogy, married Nak-young Nikki Park, a South Korean painter, in 2003. Their union caught Hollywood off guard. Black and Asian partnerships were rarely highlighted. Their marriage weathered public scrutiny, Snipes' intense career pressures, and even his 3-year incarceration from 2010 to 2013 over tax issues. Nikki stayed steady, raising their children and offering support through every challenge. Over 22 years, she became more than a partner. She grounded him, providing balance amid chaos. Snipes credits her with keeping him spiritually centered. While Hollywood often thrives on drama, their story is quiet resilience. And if transcending societal expectations was remarkable here, another actor's journey showed that sometimes the person you've known the longest can turn out to be the one, reshaping everything you thought you knew about love. Blair Underwood. Blair Underwood, the LA law star, surprised everyone by marrying Josie Hart in June 2023. They'd been friends for 43 years, growing up together, watching each other marry others, raise children, and live separate lives until decades later they reconnected. The news hit social media like a storm. Underwood's journey wasn't about rushing. After 27 years with Desiree DaCosta and 3 children, he wasn't looking for love. Josie, though, had been there long before fame, long before anyone knew his name. Their marriage became proof that love doesn't follow a schedule. Sometimes it waits decades, arriving exactly when it's meant to. And while some waited years for timing to align, including a comedy legend who finally found peace after public chaos, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, comedy legend from SNL to Coming to America, spent decades in relationships that played out under relentless public scrutiny. Then he met Paige Butcher, an Australian model and actress, and everything changed. Their relationship began around 2012, but Paige stayed completely private. No social media posts, no red carpet appearances, no interviews. They welcomed 2 children, daughter Izzy in 2016 and son Max in 2018. After more than a decade together, they quietly married on July 9, 2023. Their 18-year age gap sparked some curiosity, but it never mattered to them. Murphy, after years of public spectacle, sought peace, and Paige provided it. In a Hollywood obsessed with visibility, they built a life unseen, grounded in trust and stability. And while some choose privacy for calm, others choose partners who understand the demanding creative life from personal experience. Will they reshape what it means to balance fame and family? Boris Kodjoe. Boris Kodjoe, born in Vienna to a Ghanaian father and German mother, married Soul Food co-star Nicole Ari Parker in 2005. Their marriage stood out, not for glamour, but for honesty in an industry known for chaos. They have 2 children, Sophie, born 2005, and Nicholas, born 2006, and have openly shared the challenges of parenting, therapy, and balancing careers while maintaining intimacy.
Absolutely.
That's right.
100%. We saw each other at like 5 in the morning without hair and makeup.
That's the real deal.
You know.
Kodjoe's past relationships included women of different backgrounds, but his partnership with Nicole proved love is about alignment, shared values, and mutual respect, not public opinion. Over 20 years, they've built a grounded life, refusing to perform their relationship for headlines. Yet even after 2 decades, one question lingers. When Hollywood shifts and pressures mount, can even the strongest unions stay unshaken? David Oyelowo. David Oyelowo, best known for portraying Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Selma, met Jessica Oyelowo while they were drama students in London, struggling to make ends meet. Jessica, a white British actress and singer, became his partner during years when neither had fame, and their love grew quietly, away from public attention. As David's star rose, critics questioned his choices, suggesting he had abandoned his roots or picked a white partner for career advantage, especially sharp given his portrayals of Black historical figures.
Yeah, thank you. We made the film The Waterman with our children in mind.
Together for 27 years, they have 4 children and have collaborated creatively on projects including the #1 ladies detective agency. Through decades of scrutiny and success, they've maintained a grounded partnership built on trust, shared ambition, and mutual respect. While some actors built love on faith, others built it on something equally powerful, shared creative genius and humor that outsiders simply couldn't understand. Jordan Peele. Before Get Out made Jordan Peele a directing sensation, he married comedian Chelsea Peretti in April 2016. They met on the comedy circuit, 2 brilliant, unconventional minds who clicked over humor long before fame found them.
The person sent a text, then an email, then a text, and it just kept building and building and building, and then it was like...
Chelsea, known for playing Gina Linetti on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, shares Jordan's sharp, unpredictable wit. When their relationship went public around 2013, reactions were mixed. Some focused on their racial differences. He's Black, she's white, treating it like a statement rather than a partnership. They welcomed their son, Beaumont, in February 2017, keeping family life deliberately private, away from cameras and social media.
Right here, guys, look at this way, down here. Right here.
Through it all, their connection has centered on shared laughter, creativity, and understanding, not external expectations. But when one of the world's most influential creative minds chooses a partner, the public still projects its own narrative, and Jordan and Chelsea proved they would write theirs entirely on their own terms. Idris Elba. Idris Elba, known for Luther, The Wire, and Beast, and a regular on Sexiest Man Alive lists, married Somali-Canadian model Sabrina Dowry in April 2019. Their romance began in 2017, away from the Hollywood spotlight, and quickly became a story about connection rather than status. Fans were surprised. Many expected him to marry a fellow A-lister or supermodel, but Idris saw something deeper. Sabrina wasn't part of the celebrity elite, yet she brought calm, purpose, and partnership that resonated beyond appearances. Their wedding spanned 3 days in Morocco, celebrated quietly yet spectacularly, reflecting their shared values. Subtle critics suggested he could have done better, but the couple's focus stayed on their life together, not public approval. Their story shows that love thrives when rooted in authenticity rather than expectation.
But to see a human being with cat fur and moving, I mean, it was pretty like, whoa.
And while some Hollywood romances fade, others leave lasting lessons, like a Broadway couple whose love story ended yet proved that connection and respect can evolve even after the curtain falls. Taye Diggs. Taye Diggs, the smooth charmer from The Best Man and Brown Sugar, met Broadway powerhouse Idina Menzel during the original Rent production. They married in 2003 and welcomed son Walker in 2009. Fans struggled to separate Taye's on-screen persona from reality, and some online chatter criticized his choice, questioning why he wasn't with a black woman good enough. The scrutiny was sharp, and Taye wrestled with public perception for years, constantly second-guessing his private life. Over time, he learned to prioritize love over outside approval. Though they divorced in 2014, Taye and Idina have maintained a close friendship and dedicated co-parenting partnership, showing that respect can endure even when romance ends. Their story proves that love doesn't follow a color chart and that commitment can take many forms. But while some faced criticism for race, other couples encountered skepticism for entirely different reasons, like high school sweethearts, whose bond was questioned simply because one of them became an Oscar winner. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. whose "Show Me the Money" line in Jerry Maguire became legendary, built a private world with his high school sweetheart, Sarah Kapfer. They married in 1994, long before awards and red carpets defined his life. Sarah, a school teacher, had no interest in Hollywood's glare, preferring normalcy over spotlight. When fans learned about her, reactions ranged from indifference to disbelief. Comment sections questioned why someone so charismatic would choose someone so plain, while gossip columns speculated about when he might upgrade.
No matter if you think he did it or he didn't do it, as I read these scripts, my opinion changed like a tennis match, back and forth.
To Cuba, none of it mattered. Sarah saw him at his lowest, before fame, before accolades, and together they raised 3 children, including actor Mason Gooding. Their marriage lasted over 20 years before ending in 2017, yet Cuba continues to speak warmly about the years that shaped him. Military-level secrecy defined another Marvel star's approach to love, keeping his childhood sweetheart completely hidden from the superhero spotlight. Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie, best known as Marvel's Falcon and later Captain America, kept his personal life under wraps for years. Few knew he was married until 2014, when news surfaced that he had quietly wed Chiwetel Ejiofor, his childhood sweetheart from New Orleans. They had known each other since they were kids, long before Hollywood fame arrived. Chiwetel wasn't part of the entertainment world and actively preferred a life away from cameras and red carpets. Together, they raised 4 children, building a grounded, private family life far from the superhero spotlight. Fans were surprised, not by controversy, but by how ordinary and stow a Marvel star's personal life could be.
And I was a free safety, 275, 8% body fat, pure chocolate, all day.
The couple divorced in 2018, yet Mackie has always spoken respectfully about their years together. Their story proves that love doesn't need public approval to endure. The next actor had to step in and publicly defend his wife, shutting down every cruel comment aimed at her. Derek Luke. Derek Luke earned critical acclaim for his breakthrough role in Antwone Fisher, but behind the spotlight was a steady partnership with Sophia Adela Luke. They married in 1998, years before fame, meeting while both chased acting careers and navigating auditions together. Sophia, an actress and singer of white and Hispanic descent, preferred life out of the spotlight, yet their bond was unshakable when their interracial marriage became public. Some online voices criticized Derek, suggesting he had abandoned black women, while others cruelly questioned Sophia's looks.
I want to thank God because my mother told me when I was a kid that he exists.
Derek didn't stay silent. He publicly defended her, emphasizing that she loved him for who he was and had supported him through his earliest struggles. Together, they built a grounded life, showing that love isn't dictated by appearance or public expectation. While some couples face criticism for being seen, others choose partners so private and dignified that the mystery becomes part of the story. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman, whose voice is instantly recognizable worldwide, married Myrna Colley Lee in 1984 after meeting her in the late 1970s. Myrna, a respected costume designer and arts advocate, deliberately stayed out of Hollywood's spotlight, focusing on theater, community arts, and charitable work. Their marriage spanned 26 years, supporting Freeman as he rose to legendary status in film, from Driving Miss Daisy to the Dark Knight trilogy. Together, they shared a commitment to creative collaboration and giving back, quietly building a life far from tabloid scrutiny.
Say that I'm sorry about your habit. I didn't know that.
About what? Which is this?
Their partnership surprised some. Morgan was a global star, while Myrna lived a quieter, arts-focused life, but it endured through decades of career highs. When their marriage ended in 2010, Freeman maintained his characteristic privacy, rarely discussing personal matters publicly. Quiet dignity defined their relationship, showing that love can thrive without fanfare. And while some couples navigate fame with openness, others, like one actor whose commanding voice could sell anything, chose to keep their personal choices entirely to themselves, leaving the world guessing. Dennis Haysbert. Dennis Haysbert, known for portraying President Palmer on 24 and starring in Major League, married Elena Sims, a white woman, at a time when interracial marriages among black Hollywood figures were rarely discussed. Fans were surprised. Here was a man whose on-screen roles symbolized integrity and leadership, choosing a partner outside his race.
That he feels so strongly about, so I always like to come out and support him whenever I can.
Yet Haysbert never engaged the debate. He built his life quietly, focused on authenticity rather than public approval. Their marriage eventually ended, but he continued to keep his personal life private, avoiding the spotlight on matters of love. His approach showed that connection isn't defined by color, but by compatibility, trust, and shared values. In Hollywood, where public opinion can feel like a constant jury, Haysbert lived life on his own terms, setting a precedent for private dignity. Sometimes, the most compelling partnerships are between opposites, like when Hollywood's most intense actor found his perfect counterbalance. Forest Whitaker. Forest Whitaker, Oscar winner for The Last King of Scotland and star of The Butler and Black Panther, married model and actress Keisha Nash in 1996. Their personalities couldn't have been more different. Forest quiet, reflective, and intense. Keisha outgoing, vivacious, and full of life. Fans often wondered how such contrasting energies could work, but they complemented each other perfectly. While Forrest immersed himself in complex roles and heavy scripts, Keisha brought laughter, color, and grounding into his world. Together, they raised 3 daughters and built a stable, private family life far from Hollywood spectacle. Their marriage lasted over 2 decades, ending in divorce in 2021. Yet Forrest has spoken highly of Keisha's influence, crediting her for balance and perspective throughout his career.
Then we can do that. If those needs aren't met, then anything can occur inside of a culture.
Meanwhile, some of the most mysterious relationships in Hollywood thrived entirely off-camera, like a British actor whose private love life revealed beauty only in fleeting glimpses. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Chiwetel Ejiofor, Oscar-nominated for 12 Years a Slave and known for Doctor Strange, is one of Hollywood's rare stars who can command the screen and then disappear completely from public view.
There are millions of people, but, I just had to try and get his story right.
Fans first noticed him with Sari Mercer, a Canadian model and actress, sparking curiosity because neither sought attention. Unlike most celebrity couples, they don't announce relationships on red carpets or social media. Instead, they appear together only occasionally. Quiet dinners, selective film premieres, and charity events, always at ease but never performing for the cameras. In a world obsessed with exposure, their story stands out, known only to the people living them. These men showed us that real love doesn't have to follow Hollywood's script. But among the couples still together, which one faced the harshest public backlash? And how did they turn that pressure into a bond that grew stronger instead of breaking them? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.